What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Is everyone getting too bullish on Bitcoin? That's what we're going to talk about. I do have a bearish and bullish case scenario. We're going to look at both. Definitely stick around. Also, don't forget we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Totally free, guys. Check it out. Let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. All right, so looking at the news headlines, we'll just start out, kind of get a feel for the sentiment. Bitcoin price drops 3% to fill the fresh futures gap, and a lot of people think that's going to get filled and go straight up. We'll see. 10,000 proving to be a tough nut to crack for Bitcoin bulls. Crypto traders should brace for Bitcoin drop ahead. Despite Bitcoin price rallying above 10,000, things aren't looking good. How traders can use blah, blah. Bitcoin just plunged from 10K, so it's looking pretty bearish in the news, which usually means there's probably a move up coming. But let's take a look at fear and greed index. We're at 46. We've been there for the last couple days. Still in the fear zone. And let's look at longs versus shorts on Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Binance. The total is 72.22 long, and the shorts are 27.78 short. All exchanges are showing way more longs than shorts. Could be a long squeeze coming. And let's look at the monthly. So if we take a look at the monthly, this 9,200 is what we're watching. If this holds, should be pretty bullish, but I don't believe it's going to, and I'll show you why. We did have this here from last month. I said if we closed above it, it was going to be bullish, which it did, and it was. But I don't believe this is going to hold. Let's take a look at the weekly, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. I think the best case scenario here, guys, is that we come up to around this 11,150 to 11,250 range, which is the golden retracement of this swing low to swing high here. And I am looking for a rejection if we get up there. I don't believe we're even going to get up there, and I'll show you why. But if we look at this trend line drawn off of the peaks here, that would line up, like I said, right around the 10,100 to 10,300. Somewhere in that area, I would expect a huge rejection. If you guys aren't trading or you're interested in trading, definitely check out the Bybit tutorial. I'll leave it up top. There's a Bybit and a Prime XBT link down below, and by using my link, you get sign-up bonuses, a little extra cash in the account once you make a deposit. Just be careful, guys. Don't use high leverage, and don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And let's see, after here, if we were to get up here, which again, I don't even think that we're going to, but if we do, I look for a rejection back down to around the 70, actually around the 73 to 80, around 73 to 8,000 range, depending on where we come down and hit this. And if we look at it in the RSI, looking at the weekly RSI, same thing. I have the same trend lines drawn in here. Typically, we'll see a push up and one more touch here because it is random. You know, we hit the top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, and then hit the top again before hitting the bottom. But this looks like it may just come down from here. One more thing I want to point out in the RSI. Again, this is the weekly RSI, guys. Look at the red line here. That's our support and resistance line on the weekly. We capitulated under it back in 2015, broke back above it, came back down, tested it for support, and had our bull run of 2017. Then we had the bear market in 2018, capitulated below it, popped back above it, tested it for support, and this is where we are now. Now let's look at the daily. Okay, so the daily, the way I'm looking at this, we have popped out of this higher falling channel here, way back over here. And what I'm looking at now is if I zoom in here, you can see this falling channel I have in white, and the measured move, if we were to break up from there, which I do not believe we're gonna, but it is possible. It's around that 11,150, which, guys, if you remember, that lines up with that golden retracement zone. So keep that in mind while we go through this. And that's around, I have a few targets for that, but this one's 1150 or 11,150 range. But also I have the Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high here. So far we've been getting support on the 0.236. I look for that to break, guys, and the next support is around the 382 at the 8950 range, which would also line up with the top of this falling channel. So that is the area I'm looking at. If that doesn't hold, the next support is around 8500, and after that, worst case scenario, around 79. Actually, it's not the worst case. That is the golden pocket retracement zone around the $8,000 range. Worst case scenario, as I said, about 7,300. And if we look at the RSI, as you guys can see, we fell out of this rising blue channel right here, and I think we're most likely coming down to test the top of this falling channel, which would be down in this range, which would line up around that 8950 zone. So that's why I'm looking at that. Let's go into the 4 hour, then we'll go into Litecoin, then Bitcoin. And then, oh yeah, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. The comment will get you entered to win a free t-shirt. We do have the free t-shirt giveaway today. It's usually on Sunday, but I've been out of town, so stick around to the end of the video to find out the winner. Anyways, what we're looking at here on the weekly, I have adjusted this. We had this as a rising wedge, and our target hit at the 9250 range. Now I'm looking at it as a rising channel, and as you can see, we pierced through it a couple times. Usually, to me, that means we're going to continue down. And the measured move, if we measure that channel, the white channel, gets us down to around the 8136 range. And remember, the $8,000 range is around that golden pocket zone. So 8136, somewhere in that area, is what I'm looking at as a possibility now. Also, let me show you the bear or the bullish case scenario also. Let me get this line out of the way first. And looking at this as a falling wedge, broadening wedge, slightly broadening. I went off of these wicks here and these wicks down here. And if we took a look, if we were to break out, if we're to break up from here, that gets us to about 11,257, which would be that golden pocket zone. And if we were to break down, it's going to get us around the 7,900 range. I'm not going to put a target in there right now. I don't want to mess up the chart too much. But that's what I'm looking at there. And if I take this line back over here and put it, let's get this line out of our way. And looking at this as a broadening wedge, guys, that's what gives us a totally different story here. And let's take a look. If we were to break up from where we're at now, guys, and say we break the around the 11,001 or 10,150 range, if we break that and we're able to break back through that 10.5, then we would be looking at a $11,800 target. I think that's a lot less likely. Although it is possible, guys, I think it's less likely. Reason being, what I really believe we're seeing here, as you know, I've been watching this for a couple months. This is in the 4 hour. Looking at Bitcoin, I'm looking at this as an inverse head and shoulders with our neckline up here. And if we put the golden pot or the Fibonacci retracement on the swing low to the swing high here, here are my targets. We already hit the 9250 target or close to it. 9170, I think we hit 9280, something like that. But anyways, my next target is around this 0.382 level, which is around the 8950. And then we have the 0.5 level at 8480. And then we have the 0.618 at 8,000, 0.65 at 7850. And worst case scenario is 7,300, which is the 0.786 Fibonacci. I still believe this is more likely what's going to happen here, guys. And if we look at the EMAs on the 4 hour, we are dropping below them now, which that is bearish, dropping below them all. 200 EMA on the 4 hour is around the 9,500. So look for a bounce there. I don't think it's going to last, but that is what I'm looking at there. Let's look at Litecoin. So looking at Litecoin, same thing, guys. I had this rising wedge drawn here. The measured move of the break of that is the $60 range. And did I look at... Yes, we did. Okay. Back over here. Did we take a look at the RSI? We did not. this is the RSI on Bitcoin on the 4-hour. We did break above this channel, back inside it now. I think we at least come back down to test this line, which I believe will break. But that's going to be around the $9,600 range if that breaks. Like I said, 89.50 is the area I'm looking for. Sorry about that. Let's get back over to Litecoin. So anyways, yeah, the $60 range is what I'm looking at Litecoin. If you can see, let me move this trend line. Looking at this as a falling channel that we've broken out of and came back down to test as support. And as of right now, it's holding support. So if that was to continue to hold, my measured move off of this would be around 92.20 area. We could climb up, could test the bottom of this wedge, but I honestly don't think that's going to happen, although it could. Let's take a look at the other measured move. This is the bullish case scenario. Then I'll show you the bearish case, which I think that we are most likely to see. But if we take this looking at it as a broadening wedge, falling broadening wedge, and if we were to break up from here, that'd get us somewhere around the $99 to $100 range. If we break the top of this, and that's going to be around I would look for a break of the $81 range. That would get us most likely headed up this direction as long as we can break the old high of say $85, then we'd be heading for the 92 to 99. Although I don't think that's going to happen. I think we continue down from here. And the next point of support, looking at this as the swing low down here to the swing high up here. The swing low is back here, swing high up here. Right now we are above the 0.236, which is at $73. I believe we're going to break that, guys. Come back down, test this 65. If that can't hold, we are looking at that $60 range. We also have the golden pocket zone at 54, between 54 or 53 and 55 area golden pocket zone. And then worst case, just like a Bitcoin, 46.50. That is what I'm looking at. I do think we're most likely headed down to these lower lows. I know everybody's getting extremely bullish. I'm not. There's nothing. You have these guys that don't even understand charts and they say charting don't work and they just pick up these stories and try to tell you where the price is going. And that's insane. Or they'll say, my guy told me this. All that's doing is leaving the blame off them when their guy is wrong, when there probably isn't a guy. Anyways, enough of my little rant. Let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, a little different here. I'm looking at this as a symmetrical triangle possibly forming, right? And if it was to break up, which I don't believe it's going to, but if it was to break up, measured move off that's going to be around the $340 range. If it was to break down over here, is going to be around the 203, and that's the 0.5 fib. We've been looking at that for quite some time. I still think this is most likely where we're headed. Obviously, the 382 will probably give us a bounce there around the 223 range. And again, these are just Fibonacci retracements from the swing low to the swing high of this move. 183 is around the golden pocket zone, and 153 is 0.786, which would be the worst case scenario and would also retest this trend line here. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's look at the RSI. Same thing in the RSI. We could come up for one more touch, but most likely coming back down. If we do go up for one more touch, I'd be testing the top of this channel again before coming down. And the super bullish case on this would be looking at this from the breakout here as a flag pull, this being the bull flag. Again, guys, we'd have to pass the old high of right around 290. If we pass that, then we could be looking at one of these two targets. But that second target up there is 393, bullish case. Like I said, I am short and midterm bearish here, guys. I do believe we're coming down to these lower lows. So this is my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. There's also a link to this down in the description below the video if you guys want to check the stuff out. But this is where you'll pick the free t-shirt from. And we will generate a random number, which is 4. Go over to our videos 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 5, or 92, 5 first. And let's copy the link address, bring it over to, paste it in. Load comments. Comments loading. Still loading. Randomly pick a winner. It'll probably be me. Yep, it always is because I comment on everybody's stuff. Crypto rumor, you've won. CryptoSavy on the road response ad. So daily closes above 96. Week of base are falling RSI to retest 92 for bounce back. Anyways, crypto rumor, congratulations. Get a hold of me, bud, and let me know where we got to send the shirt to, and we'll get it out after you pick one. Take it easy, guys. Have a great day, and I'm out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your comments below.